All right, we want to give our praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bashim Yahweh Shah, Barakakwadash. Want to give double honor to the apostles of GMS that rose well, that we learned from. Peace, blessing, salutations to Yakim, the Akwaf tuning in, and you Israelite foreigners that are scattered. This is Shakwakara from GMS, Virginia, with another lesson. Not going to be long. Just touching the point that, this is the world that we live in. Women have been totally set to destroy men and against men. And, men are pretty much set to be destroyed. These elites are creating all types of problems amongst the earth. A lot of bickerings, a lot of, pain, gnashing, suffering. Well, pretty much, everything's going to lead to the New World Order. Men are really just going to be not into women. Women are not going to be into men. So it's going to breed a lot of disgusting things, meaning bestiality, pedophilia, homosexuality, sex with robots, dildos, women on women, women using all types of other sexual objects. So this is going to be a world that's full of chaos. Then they can bring in the metaverse, and then you can have a wife on metaverse, and a woman can have a husband on metaverse, and it can all be created how you want it. And that's just everybody just being so disingenuous. And this is all the doings of the so-called white man. And this is why, it all goes with population control, the New World Order. And this is why the so-called white man has to be taken out of power. I'm going to let this, the beginning part play. And just going to bring forth, I think I had like 2 or 3 scriptures. I'm going to end it.
I don't men get alimony because it's my personal belief that the laws are neutral. They're
hold on. It was, hold on. It was somebody wrote something I wanted to show. So let me see. This is the world we live in. We enter a contract with someone who is rewarded for breaking it. Prenup and DNA tests on a child at the hospital should be mandatory. Fathers keep daughters off stripper poles, and fathers keep sons out of jail. Accountability is a woman's kryptonite. It says, this is a guy, he says, going through a divorce now in my early 40s and being realistic and practical about what recovery is going to be like. I can say with total and complete honesty, don't do it, men. Don't do it. It is simply not worth it. I worked hard for nearly a decade to create the life I thought I wanted, and now I could very well take the rest of my 40s just to get back to a regular, normal life. Society is doomed. And that's true. Yes, I'm not one of those jaded guys, a woman hater, or someone that doesn't believe in love, but logically speaking, I cannot wrap my head around getting married until someone can explain the benefit of being legally intertwined with another human. I'm just not going to do it. That's crazy. I'm an attorney. I don't know if it's real, but it's saying this should be shown to all teenage boys and college-age boys, mandatory. So, I'm going to just get one more. Men, is sad, but we have to realize that marriage and also having a kid is dangerous. We know it is tough to stay with a woman for many years. And child support goes to 18, in some states 21, in some states and to 23 in some states. If the kid goes to college, check your state laws. It's a dangerous game, and men are losing. And that's the world that we live in. That's why the scripture talks about, love not this world. And it's another one, let your mind, your heart be towards the kingdom, which moth and stealers do not corrupt or steal. But I'm going to let this video play.
Gender neutral, but men do not get treated fairly when it comes to alimony in the court system. Judges are biased against them. Judges are biased against them. They are, and I'm sorry to say it, but that's the truth.
Yeah, that might be a training, man.
What's up, YouTube? Welcome to the Coffee Pod. My name is Shisha Zed.
Drink the coffee, it'll make you feel better.
Marriage is a very sensitive topic in our day, right? And for good reason, man. I think regardless of what your opinion may be about marriage, it's undeniable that more men today are uneasy.
When you read about marriage and know about marriage according to Esau's laws and according to your state, it's not for men. It's for the women. Because we understand this society, they use women to destroy the men, and they use the women for the New World Order. All things go back to the New World Order. And going back to the conversation with Aaron Russo, starting with the so-called black woman. They saw that they can really, women, starting with the so-called black women, are good for economics. Who's economics? The elites. So they use these women to build up their society, to keep things on malfunction. The scripture says a woman should surpass a man. Well, they push these women to, they put them all in these schools. They give jobs and businesses certain breaks and cuts, tax cuts to if they hire women. And me personally, I drive trucks, and lately I've been seeing a lot of women driving trucks. And it's, one thing I always say to myself is, when I see these chicks driving now, as truckers, we have, as men, we have a common, mutual respect for each other on the road, so to speak. But these women that's driving these trucks, these women have a nasty attitude towards men. Me personally, these women that drive past you and they give you some type of look like, yeah, I can do it too. I can drive this truck too. I can drive it better. So we live in a society where, Esau is using these women to destroy men, and it's destroying these men so it won't be no revolt. Mainly, the so-called black, starting with the so-called black, Hispanic, Native American man. They destroyed you. They got you in pretty much in a complete set hand that you're not going to revolt. But now they're going on to destroying men in general, so they can bring in this new world order. I'm going to let the video play. Salaki.
When it comes to deciding whether they're going to get married or not, or whether they see value in marriage in today's modern day.
Oh yeah, Salaki, one more thing. You can read the book of Tobit, and they'll show you the about real marriage. Marriage is when a man goes into a woman, not paperwork. You got to pay $100, a couple $100. And that's bullshit. You got to go get a license. You got to go to the what you call it, the board, pay some money. You're supposed to pay the chick's father. But or a woman's given to a man. It's all set up and rearranged. But continuing.
One of the main reasons for this is a lot of men are becoming more informed about the dangers of getting married in today's age, right? And a lot of this information doesn't come from the lawyers and people who work in court. It comes from men who failed for marriages or crazy YouTubers like myself who are informing men on why the court systems, family court, are usually unfair when it comes to men. But in this video, I'm going to be reacting to some expert attorneys who are warning men to avoid some of the biggest mistakes that men make when it comes to marriage. And guys, this video is brought to you by me. Check out my course and learn how to win with women and dating online. Click the link pinned at the top of the comment. Without any further delay.
No fault divorce. In the old days, you used to have to say bad behavior, adultery, abandonment, mental and physical cruelty. Now, all you have to do is say irreconcilable differences, that nothing can put your marriage back together again, and you get a divorce. The most important thing to protect yourself financially is having a lawyer in your state, an experienced family lawyer, to help you through the process. Women feel that they're entitled to alimony and men feel that they're not. In the last 40 years, I have had 4 cases that I remember of men getting alimony that I had to twist their arms
Wow.
and beat them up in order to get alimony.
Now that's nuts.
Should men seek alimony? More of them should.
Did you know that when you get married, everybody has a prenup? Yep, the prenup is the state law that you live in. Every state has rights and obligations associated with marriage. So if you get married without drawing up your own terms and conditions,
Listen
you are
up,
by
man.
default submitting to your state's prenup.
I represented a husband. He worked since he's 16 years old, saving money. And he bought a house prior to getting married. He bought it the week prior to getting married. Within 3 years, that house that he had put his entire life savings into was jointly titled. He was
man.
so upset that he lost half of that house, half of his life savings. You need to seek out a real estate lawyer. You have to remember that when you put the other spouse's name on the title, it gives them ownership and they own half of the house and half of the equity. If you own a house and you're getting married, listen to this because it could save you a fortune. Do not put your spouse's name on the title. Even if you're getting a mortgage and the mortgage company seems to tell you that you have to put your wife on the title, you don't. Do not put your wife on the title, even if she has to sign the mortgage. If
She's
you
giving
put
you
your
that free
spouse's
game.
name on it, your spouse is going to own half the house. If you inherit money during your marriage, it is your own separate account. Make sure that any savings account, checking account, brokerage account is only in your name. Do not add.
Yeah, one thing, when you read the book of Ecclesiastes, it goes into, how, you, here it is, labored, put things up, set things together. Really, you labored as a man. You knew when time to labor, you put things together. You tilled the land. You sowed seed. You built houses and so forth. And you wrought the works of your hands. And here it is, you done got you a woman. I'm talking about this society we live in now. As a man, you worked. You got your retirement, so to speak. You got your own, little business, so to speak. Got things running. You labored when you was young, as this lady was talking about. But here it is. The scripture says, all is vanity because you don't know, if you die or get sick, whatever. You go to set things up, so you put things in your woman's name. And one thing, it'll never be another Judith, as Judith, you can see Judith, she never remarried again, and she could have, but she chose to honor her husband. And in this society now, these women are quick to dishonor her husband, destroy him, take his goods. She likes hearing that he's, putting a lot of work in just so she can go out there, take the house, then take the children. And here it is, you don't set things up for your children, but then she put something completely different in that child's mind. And now that child, the father had intentions to, raising up that child in a form, a certain way to induct and control that, run that business. But here it is, that your woman that you thought was so, delightful and, sweet and beautiful to you, she turned to a complete stranger. And that's the world that we live in. These women will come at you one way. I was even talking to this Benjamite dude, we play soccer with. And he was saying, even the Benjamite women here in America, they're full of shit. They come over here and they turn into complete strangers. He said, one day they kiss you, then the next day they're trying to kill you. So these women are complete through. One again, they come at you one way, and then years later, and the thing about it, these women are for each other, and they're out to destroy households. This whoredom has really destroyed the society. These women in the courts and the elites, the whole world is for women just being out there, destroying men, being whores, being sluts, being entitled, never being what's the word? Accountability is far from them. And I was in downtown Richmond today, and I've seen a lot of old women that just look through. It was one they had these tight ass jeans on, and their guts just hanging. And I'm like, yo, these bitches are in their late 50s, early 60s, man, and they're still trying to through. But see, that's not what's being taught. The end game of it. Here it is. Done all this dirt as women, and then in the end of it, you have nothing. But I'm gonna let it a little bit more play, and I'm gonna bring forward the scripture, and I'm gonna end it.
Your spouse's name to the title, ever, by putting your marital assets, your marital income, into your inheritance, you're going to lose half of your inheritance. If I'm talking to you and you're getting married, you need to make sure that your old bank account that had $50,000 in it stays with the $50,000, and that when you get married, you open up a new account, a new bank account, a new savings account, a new checking account. You need to separate the money that you earn during the marriage from the money you had prior to the marriage. And do not put any monies that you are earning during the marriage into your prior premarital accounts. That money that you are putting in there loses its separate identity. Now it's marital, and your spouse is entitled to half of it.
Want to watch Meerkats without the ads?
Yep. As the scripture said, don't let your right hand know what your left hand know what your right hand is doing, so to speak. And I'm gonna. That was it right there. Hold on real quick. So 1 John 2:15 through 17, it says, love not the world, neither the things that are in the world. If any man love the world, the love of the Father is not in him. So as you can clearly see, these women are completely being used by Esau. So for all that is in the world, the lust of the flesh and the lust of the eyes and the pride of life is not of the Father, but is of the world. And again, they take these women and these kids, these women having kids, these women are breaking and destroying the minds of these kids. These kids are going to these educational systems, these school systems, being brought up in complete wickedness and confusion. And then the upbringing of them, they're getting a certain of age, and man, they're through. They're totally bugged out. It says, and the world passes away and the lust thereof, but he that doeth the will of Yahweh abideth forever. Just real quick. Romans 12:1, I beseech you therefore, brethren, by the mercy of Yahweh, that you present your bodies a living sacrifice, holy, acceptable unto Yahweh, which is your reasonable service. So, we're supposed to, as we brothers, and starting with the elders on down, through the spirit of Yahweh Shem Shah, we preach order and discipline, because that's a part of our heritage. The law, the law, statutes, commandments, us being the holy people. The scriptures said, Yahweh says that he's holy. And holy, he made us to be holy. And in order to keep these things and keep the ordinances of how our forefathers did, is order and discipline. But clearly, we understand that the world that we live in is in complete set to be complete wicked and out of order, no discipline. So it says, and be not conformed to this world, but be ye transformed by the renewing of your mind, that ye may prove what is that's good and acceptable and perfect will of Yahweh. And as you can clearly see, man, everybody is against the scriptures. these Edomites destroying, pretty much they destroyed the Bible, man. They destroyed the words of Yahweh Shem Shah. So now everybody is in full set gear, in full high gear to do evil and wickedness, man. And these women are completely out of order. And it's crazy, man, because you'll get to talking to a lot of these guys out here. I go to the gym, man. I'll be talking to a lot of Jakes, so to speak. Then we get to talking, man, and it always goes back to how these women are just through. They're done. They're fully set to do evil, and be whores and sluts. And it's crazy how as a man you really have to be on edge and on guard of wickedness out here. Some weird shit. The elites, the agendas, the cops, your own people, niggas. But here it is. You also have to be, man. You got to be even more on defense with these women, because a woman can smile at you, a nice little shorty with a body, so to speak. She can act like she likes you, and the whole time she's ready to set you up. She can, or else, she can actually like you. She give you the box, whatever. Y'all whining and dining. Y'all with each other for a little bit, and then the bitch just changed. She's completely switched, and that's the world that we live in, man. One more. So I was Ecclesiastes 25. Let me see. And this is going on now. Sirach 25 and 17. So the wickedness of a woman changeth her face, makeup, etc., and darkeneth her countenance like sackcloth. Her husband shall sit among his neighbors, and when he heareth it, shall sigh bitterly. And that's what a lot of men is doing. They're sighing, man, because these women are in full high gear to destroy men and to take what they have. And one thing Esau, and again, man, it's clear evident that women need men, and Esau knows that. But the thing about it, what they're doing is they're allowing these women to just destroy men all out. These women are allowed to have hundreds of men, and are able to destroy all of them. So you have to be very careful, man. He said, all wickedness is but little to the wickedness of a woman, that the portion of a sinner fall upon her. As the climbing up a sandy way is to the feet of the aged, so is a wife full of words to a quiet man. So it says, verse 21, stumble not at the beauty of a woman, and desire her not for pleasure. So it says a wicked woman, the woman she maintain her husband, is full of anger, impudence, and much reproach. A wicked woman abateth to courage, maketh a heavy countenance and wounded heart. A woman that will not comfort her husband in distress maketh weak hands and feeble knees. And that's what they want men to really just be weak. And and another thing that's what women, Esau has done to these women, has they allow them to get the bag, and that basically these women want to rule and maintain a relationship and control the man by her, the PhD, her career, her so-called money, so to speak. So a lot of time what these women will do, they have Tyrone Pookie, a beta, and then they'll have like a sugar daddy. So they had like 2 dudes, 3, whatever. I'm talking about main ones. So you should have an in-house nigga, he doesn't go nowhere. He's pretty much a simp, play video games. She pretty much takes care of him. She's angry as hell, bitter, impudent, much reproach, angry as hell. She'll have kids by him and all that. But then she'll go out there and have, another guy, and it's really rampant like that out here in Richmond. A lot of these bitches out here are fucking low lives, man. They're fucking, seriously, they're scumbags. And anybody who really knows Virginia will tell you, Virginia has to be me personally. I think Virginia has some of the worst fucking women. I think they're worse than fucking New York chicks and Jersey chicks. And then even them, they're demons, heavy demons, man. They're demons, man. But due to a lot of those chicks there's a lot of chicks from up north down here, and it's like that cancer really has spread amongst these VA bitches. VA is like a state where a lot of people have came here, and it's very diverse here, very diverse. A lot of different type of people here and so forth. So these women are, you got Ishmael, Ham, you got all nations here, man. But the point is, man, these women here, man. But going back to the point, these women that have a sugar daddy, somebody, another man taking care of her, giving her money, and so to speak. But then, the money she's getting, she'll take care of another man. This world is wicked, man. So it says, so what she's doing, cause what will happen? She could pretty much uplift herself, brag amongst the world to other bitches and silly people online. Or I take care of this guy, whatever, such and such. Trying to big up herself, but really she looks fucking stupid as hell. And then, she'll go out there and be messing with other guys and so to speak, man. It's a wicked world. So a woman came the beginning of sin, and through her we all die. Give the water no passion, neither a wicked woman liberty to get abroad. And these elites have allowed these women destroyed, trauma, no father having, no order, no discipline, no honor having women to have the most freedom. You can't, and the thing about it, man, you can't, a lot of these women deserve death. You can't do that. Can't beat them. You can't, you can't check them. You can't correct them. They don't want to be led by men. So again, we just live in a society where these women are just fully set to just do evil. And it's pushed, all on TV and so to speak. But it says, if she go not as thou wouldest have her, cut her off from thy flesh and give her a bill of divorce and let her go. And that's, But the thing about it, due to these, the laws of Esau, and if you really did marry her according to the state, man, that bitch will fucking destroy you, especially you have kids by her, man, child support. And I think, man, I know a boy personally, and I'm gonna end it with this. He won the child support case, so the chick had to owe him. I talked to him not too long ago, maybe like a month or so, a couple months ago. Hey, she's trying to flip that back on him. So, yeah, man, it's these we live in evil times, and we cannot desire this place. And with that, I'm gonna say shalom.